We'll be back to see how they get on a little bit later in the show. But first, it's time to relive some of the other all-time greatest GAA moments with a woman who, with 4 All-Irelands and 11 All-Stars, has brought us plenty herself, and a man who has commentated on them all for 4 decades. Would you please welcome Cora Staunton and Marty Morrissey! Lovely stuff. Oh, thank you. Now look,
they must all be from Clare.
They must all be from Clare. Look, feel the love, Cora. Feel the love, Marty. They're up the rebel.
I think it must be for the pink jacket, is it, yeah?
I think, well, look, to be honest with you, I think there's a lot of love.
Well, hello. Somebody in this audience has great taste. That's all I'd say. You don't get a whistle like that, do you, Patrick?
No, I don't, but we can very much change this item to blind date at any point you choose, Marty. Cora, we're talking the greatest ever GAA moments. You have made plenty yourself. You changed the game. You took the ball, you completely ran with it. Tell us the age you made your senior... I was reading this in the week again. When did you make your senior debut?
A long time ago now, but I was, very young at the time. I was just 13 and a half, so
wow.
quite young.
Wow.
Obviously, rules nowadays don't allow you to play till in your first year minor, but 13 years of age, probably the biggest thing I'd done in my first National League game was kick 2-5, so that was probably the worst thing I could have done because it put a lot of pressure on for the next, whatever I played with Mayo, I think it was 24 years more after that, so quite young, but at the time it was allowed, and I suppose I had 6 or 7 years experience of playing with the boys because we didn't have a local girls team, so that certainly hardened me up and got me ready for senior inter-county football.
I mean, look, you've played everywhere. You've played in Australia, you played in the WAC of the MCG. Does anything compare to running out to Croke Park All-Ireland final day? No,
absolutely not. For me, it doesn't anyways, and I suppose the biggest example we've seen in the last few weeks is Mark O'Connor, obviously, who's playing AFL in Australia, come back to play with Dingle. That's where you want to play. Growing up, I never dreamed of playing in Australia. I used to be out in the back garden regularly, trying to kick points. My idol growing up was a Kerry man, Maurice Fitzgerald, so even though he broke Mayo hearts many a time, I wanted to be him and I wanted to be in Croke Park. I don't think I ever wanted to win in All-Ireland or had that aspiration, but I always wanted to get there, and thankfully got there early in my career with Mayo and won a couple of All-Irelands, which was nice.
I mean, last year was another huge year for the ladies' game. How far has it come in the last few years? It really seems to be leaps and bounds.
Yeah, it's came on huge amount. I suppose when you look back, my first All-Ireland was, 27 years ago. There was 15,000 at it. My last All-Ireland was in 2017. We had nearly 50,000. And the game has grown so much. I'm very excited for the year ahead because obviously the ladies have taken up a lot of the new rules that was brought into the men's championship last year, and you've seen by watching it what it has done to the game. So it's more physical contact what players wanted. So really looking forward to the year ahead. The game has come on leaps and bounds, and it's great to see. As I said, my role model growing up was a male. Now you have young girls growing up that has plenty of female role models to look up to, which is brilliant.
I mean, Marty, you have the best job, the best seat in the house for all of these moments. You've seen them come, you've seen them go. Compared to your first ever commentary position, how does the commentary box at Croke Park compare?
Well, it's a privilege, it's an honour. When you're handed the microphone, when I was handed the first time, I said to Micheál O'Hare, use this microphone. To Micheál O'Hare, they use this microphone, because they were my idols. And it was just wonderful to be there. I was just thinking about Cora. Like, I used to imagine after we watch Micheál O'Hare commentating an All-Ireland final on the TV, and I go out and I would imagine that I scored the winning goal in the All-Ireland final and marched behind the R10 band. And somehow it never actually happened. Was that due to a lack of talent? I would think so. But I think that's the beauty of my dream, was once I got the bug of broadcasting, that was what I wanted to do, and it's a privilege to do it.
Well, I mean, you got the bug, early on. We have a little photograph here of one of Marty's first commentary appearances. People, a lot of love for the pink jacket. Talk us through this Only Fools and Horses look.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, that is the sexiest jacket that's ever been seen in a late night show. And myself and Pascal Brooks started back in 1984. Patrick Galvin got me good to him. Local postman asked me to know would I do a commentary on the under-21 football final between my club, Kilmurray Bricken, and Milltown Malbay. And I said, absolutely not. I'd be useless. I'd no ambition in it. I'm not one of these guys that listen to myself on a tape recorder. So I went down to Doonbeg in pouring rain, and it was awful. My commentary was awful. And it was, when I look back on it, because I didn't know whether it was Micheál Ó Hare because I was saying, you know, I was kind of putting on an accent. And I said, God, I can't keep this up. So they showed the video in the local bar, and they charged 50 pence in. I think they should have been charging 50 pence out. But anyway, I got the bug. My second game was in Thurles for the Munster Club final between Sixmile Bridge and Patrickswell. And that's really where I got the bug. And I tried and I tried. I tried 4 years knocking on the door here because RT was the only place, really. And it was difficult to get in. Some people around the country would say, wish to God they kept him out. But I finally got in, and Frank Whelan and Tim O'Connor gave me my job, and I'm there since. And every day, it doesn't matter where it is, but to hold a microphone is a privilege.
Well, look, you've commentated and, you know, helped make some of these moments by bringing, you know, legendary commentary to it. Cora, you've made legendary moments yourself. We could be here all night. I mean, this is what GAA fans do up and down the country in bars and, you know, over the weekend. What's the best moment? We're putting you on the spot. OK, right. What do you think? What is your favourite moment? What's the greatest moment?
Well, I suppose the greatest moment...
In the history
of
GAA.
I suppose my heroes were the Kerry football team.
Yeah.
The Bomber Liston, Jack O'Shea, Pat Spillane.
What a team.
And just unbelievable. They were going for 5 in a row.
82.
82. And the last ball came in, as Micheál Ó Hare described it, from Richie Connor into Seamus Darby. The big debate, did he push it, did he not? I'm not going to go into that.
Behave yourself now.
Yeah, but Offaly is a wonderful county, not because my friend is in the front row. Thank you very, very much. But, I mean, they're the only county in Ireland to have all-stars in every position. For a small county. I know they inspired my own county to try and go and win the All-Ireland. But anyway, 1982, Seamus Darby, and I have a hurling moment as well, but the football one is Seamus Darby scoring that winning goal against Kerry.
OK, let's have a look.
A high, lobbing, dropping ball in towards the goal line. A shot, and a goal! A goal! A goal for Offaly! There was a goal in the game! A goal!
People in Kerry jerseys leaving the audience there as we speak.
Eugene McGee, the manager, he did an interview either before or afterwards, and he was asked, I think by the late Mick Dunn, and, you know, what would this mean for Offaly to win the All-Ireland? He says, well, no, Mick, they've trained twice a week. And to be honest with you, they haven't touched a drop of drink since Wednesday. And that was the era, that was the time, not I'm talking about drink, but I'm just talking about, it was training twice a week, play a match, and that was it. But
yeah.
The other moment for me, to give a hurling moment, is a game I love, is 1987, Munster Championship, Cork against Limerick.
What a goal this is.
John, you can't hardly see it. And he scored a goal.
Look at
this.
With Leonard in right, comes for John Fenton. Oh, what a brilliant goal!
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it hasn't been done really before or since, so that shows you how good that was.
And that's the beauty of ground hurling, which we don't see enough of now. I mean, John Fenton is now chairman of Middleton, but that ball that he struck in Thurles was against the late Tommy Quaid, one of the nicest gentlemen I knew, but also one of the greatest goalkeepers. And I mean, nobody saw it. I mean, we had to look back and it. So they're my two moments, and there's many of them. Stephen Cluxton's winning point. I mean, I love David Clifford.
We're still waiting him to mention something about Mayo. No.
Well, hold on now, let me think. Let me think now just for a moment.
Well, look, while he's thinking about Mayo and... Cora, can you give us a moment? You know, obviously you've played in Croke Park, you've made moments yourself. I believe you've got one which was redemption for you.
Yeah, I suppose I picked a personal moment from one of the All-Irelands is in 2002 when we won the All-Ireland. We had lost the All-Ireland the year before in 2001 against Laois. Myself and the goalkeeper at the time were probably the cause of us losing. A free was given away for a rule that we were unsure of and 47 seconds on the clock. The clock was it back then. Laois put the ball over the bar and we lost. So came back and won the All-Ireland the following year in 2002, and it was an extra special year for me because obviously club is what it's all about. 8 weeks after we had won the All-Ireland here at Mayo, we went on and won the Club All-Ireland with Carnacun. So 2 All-Ireland medals in 8 weeks was a lovely thing to do. But yeah, for me, that was redemption. I remember hugging Denise Horan, our goalkeeper, straight afterwards, because the two of us would have taken a lot of abuse in the media for not knowing the rules of picking the ball up inside the 21. So yeah, any day in Croke Park, especially in winning All-Ireland, as us Mayo people know, they're hard to win. But yeah, that was a really extra special day.
Brilliant. Well, look, we have another GAA moment that we think deserves a mention when it comes to some of the greatest of all time. We have a man who helped make it with us this evening. Where is Terry Madigan? Where is Terry? How are you getting on, Terry?
I'm very well, thank you.
Are you well?
I am.
Now, hang on, how are you? I'll sit on your knee. That'll be okay. There you are. That's fine.
That's a cuddle, isn't
You
it?
can nurse me. You can nurse me. Now, tell me, Terry, about this amazing event that took place in 1986 down in Limerick.
We were looking to raise funds for our club, and I was looking at different ideas or different way of doing it. So I contacted Guinness Book and looked to know if they'd accept a record if we did it, and they said they would. There was a few rules and regulations.
So you guys decided that you would play the longest Gaelic football match in history.
That is correct, yes.
Okay.
And,
which was going to take
60
hours.
Yes.
Did anybody think you were mad?
A lot of people thought it was mad, yes, but it helped, I can tell you. But we were allowed no subs whatsoever. The same 14 started, finished. Wow. If one guy got knocked out, the Guinness people would accept that. No, but I'm just saying, it could be for fatigue, it could be injury.
Okay.
But if the second guy went at the same time, the game was over.
And how did you convince anybody in your village to do this?
It was so easy. I went to 13 other guys, and each one of them within 2 minutes said, we'll do it. And we had the team, both teams, 7 aside, picked within one night.
Okay, we've all watched games that we've wanted to end. How did it feel towards the end for you guys?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But just to let me break it down.
Look, this is actual footage here. This is all of the parish out. There's
That's
a goal.
right, yes, that's
Look,
right.
obviously there was a lot of backroom staff. There's the band.
Yes, but just to let you know, at 6 o'clock on Friday morning, we started playing. We'd play all day Friday, all night Friday night, all day Saturday night, and Sunday evening until 6 p.m.
I believe there was a low point. Yeah. There was a point where you needed a wee bit of support off the sidelines late in the evening. Tell us about
That's
that.
correct. Saturday night was a horrible night. It poured rain. The morale went down, obviously, and about 1 o'clock, the wives came out. They saw we were in trouble, and they actually went around the field calling us and supporting us, encouraging us, and we just clicked in again and got going again. But the medical team we had in the background had a huge bearing also in the completion of it.
And do you remember the final score?
I don't. All I know is that we scored the exact same amount of points, 227 each. We won by 100. The team that won by 107 goals. There was over 1,100 goals scored.
There you go.
In the time, yes.
And Terry will be part of the new committee for the new rules, which are coming in. This is all in a brilliant documentary. Doc on won the longest game in RTE. Give it up one more time for Terry. Well played. Brilliant. You know, Marty, just listening to that, you know, you go up and down the country, you're in clubs week after week. That is just the type of support and coming together throughout the parishes. You know, and we've seen it this week as well with people coming together that the GAA can help.
Yeah, and in my travels, I suppose I have my finger on the pulse because I see what's happening. There's a lot of rural depopulation, and I know before Christmas I did 3 reports. One was I just wanted to give an idea of what was happening around the country, because there are challenges, particularly for the GAA and indeed for other sporting associations as well. In South Kerry, for instance, which has produced Mick O'Connell, Mick O'Dwyer, the great Jack O'Connor, who I was having tea in his house last week, and he makes lovely scones, by the way, just beside the point. But anyway, that's an inside exclusive story there. But in primary school, in junior infants, in September, in 12 national schools, there was only 83 new pupils starting. So you can see where that would go. In Cork, there's a different situation. Glen Rovers and the Pearshig in the north side of Cork City are facing a situation where once upon a time they might have 3 or 4 minor teams. Now they've only got 1. It's the lack of buildings, of new houses being built. Ballyvolane has 700 houses being built at the moment. But we now have, thanks be to God, we have a multicultural, multi-international population, which means the volunteer in these clubs will have a challenge. And in contrast to that, because that could be said about any county, I just happen to do it. In contrast to that, Dublin don't have they have too many people in some ways. Their problem is facilities. And you think of great clubs like Coola, who didn't have a pitch and they were taking out from the Dublin local authorities. And they won the All-Ireland Club, hurling and football, which shows you the spirit that is there. It doesn't matter. I'm from a small fishing village on the west coast of Clare. Football is what we live and breathe. That's what makes us tick. Now, we love our traditional music as well and our dancing, but football is the key. And that's true whether it's in urban Ireland, like in Coola, a suburb of Dublin and Dalkey. But there are challenges ahead. And to the great credit of Croke Park, they put together a committee. Benny Hurl was the chairman, and Dr. Peter Horgan was involved as well. And they realised that they have challenges ahead. Amalgamations are now popular, not popular, but they're common everywhere. But I do believe that motions will come before Congress in next month now, actually, in February, which will allow clubs and county boards to be a little bit more flexible, not to have 15 aside, but maybe have 13 aside or 11 aside. So they are aware, and to their credit, they're taking on the challenge.
Cora, we have talked about memories here this evening. You mentioned Mayo earlier on. Future memories, do we think there's a chance you might take the Mayo job and finally get the job done?
No, I'm certainly leaving that to Andy at the moment. No, we've a great man there. The enthusiasm and everything is back in Mayo. Last weekend's victory in Pearse Stadium, and Andy brings so much energy and everything to it. So I have a feeling it's going to be a good year for Andy and the Mayo team. I don't want to put too much pressure on them.
Is this the year?
Yeah, I'm not going to put any pressure on them. But no, to answer your question, in whatever amount of years' time, I'd love to see some female involved as an inter-county manager, wherever that is. It's really, really important. I'm involved in a senior club team in Mayo. There's not many females coaching within the whole of Ireland, so it's really important that they're there. Is it a dream or an aspiration? Who knows? But, I'd love to see, before I pass away, that Mayo certainly win the All-Ireland anyways.
And I'd have to say, Patrick, here. I'd have to say, if Mayo for Sam 2026 is what I would say. But if Mayo win, you don't have to have any Mayo blood. But it would be the biggest party in Ireland ever in the history of Ireland, because everybody would love to see Mayo win the All-Ireland. That is the truth.
There you go. Well, look. Let's see.
I'm not too sure. I'm sure there's a few Galway people that certainly wouldn't like to see it.
Well, look, we wish you all the best. We wish Galway all the best. We wish Offaly all the best. We wish Kerry all the best. We wish you all the best. One more time, Cora Staunton and Marty Morrissey.